Greetings and a warm welcome. How are we all feeling at the moment? Today's topic is on emotional intelligence. And a lot of us think that our high IQ is where the goal is, where we all want to be. We want to be well informed. We want to be able to engage in knowledge and to be able to spread that around. We think a high IQ defines us. A high IQ is what makes us communicate well with other people. But it's actually not that. Emotional intelligence is very important for you to be able to regulate your emotions. And it's important for you to learn how to relate to other people and to form those connections, because emotional intelligence can be learned. It's not something that you just develop. A lot of people have a knack for it, granted, but if you don't develop your emotional intelligence, then you are not developing your insight, your understanding, and just a good perspective of the human experience. Emotional intelligence is important in every context of your life, especially when it comes to your workplace, when it comes to your children, when it comes to your partner, when it comes to your friends. We have to be in tune with other people's emotions. Otherwise, we miss the message. Otherwise, we miss the connection, the understanding. And with emotional intelligence comes self-awareness. Being aware of your behaviors, being aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and being able to manage yourself better. Because once you manage yourself better, you are able to regulate better. And your self-awareness will grow as your emotional intelligence grows. And the first thing that you need to do to improve your emotional intelligence is to become more self-aware, to become more in tune with yourself, because you have to become in tune with yourself first before you can become in tune with other people. So remember to always do your self-introspection, your self-reflection, always trying to understand and expand that understanding of yourself. Because once we can self-manage, then we can deal with the emotions, but not just the emotions, the intensity of those emotions as well, because that's usually what gets us, is the feeling of that emotion and how strong that feeling is. And that is what makes it difficult to self-manage, to regulate. And another way of becoming more emotionally intelligent is to become aware of other people and how they communicate. Is someone open? Is someone closed? Is someone nervous? Is someone sad? Is someone afraid? It has to do with how you understand people and their messages as well, because communication is not just verbal, it's not just what we say, it's non-verbal as well. And it's important that you read between those lines so that you don't miss the message, you don't miss the emotion, and you don't miss the story. It's about being able to understand people while you are communicating with them, to have empathy, to understand their model of the world. And remember, as I said, emotional intelligence has to be developed. It's something we learn through friendships, relationships, marriages, children, and we sort of learn how to engage in relationships, or we can become very destructive within our relationships. But emotional intelligence has to be developed first. And we don't just learn it through our interactions. We learn it through ourselves, what we're experiencing, and how we relate and communicate with other people. It's not something that we're born with. As I said, some people might have a natural ability for it. But unless we are constantly growing in our emotional health, our emotional state, in our communication, in our connections with other people, then we start developing it more. And the more we develop it, the more emotionally aware we become. And remember, when it comes to emotional intelligence, when you are talking to someone or you are listening to someone, in that conversation, it's very imperative that you apply active listening, which is not just hearing what they're saying, but seeing how they're moving, their tone of voice, if the inflection changes. And through listening to how a person communicates, interacts, can teach you a lot about what is going on underneath the surface. So remember, active listening actually has a great benefit, and it's something you can practice with anyone. Just keep your attention on them and look for the message that is being conveyed. And one way to start regulating your emotions a bit better is through thought management, because thoughts generate feelings, and what we think we tend to feel, and what we focus on we tend to feel even more. So it's important to not let those wild horses just gallop away. It's important to bring them back and not allow overthinking, not allow your thoughts to run away with you, and sort of contain them a bit and realize you don't have to give voice to every thought that pops up. And the thing is, with emotional intelligence, it's a wisdom that we have to develop through our interactions and through our own experiences. And that wisdom is what creates insight, so that we can put ourselves in someone else's model of the world, or it may become a little bit more easier to understand the message and understand what is actually being communicated. And emotional intelligence has no place for judgment. It's about seeking to understand instead of assuming and making up what you think is the situation. Because as soon as you add judgment, you take away the fact that a person has feelings and emotions. And that is what lowers your emotional intelligence, when you are judging and assuming the worst of people. Read between the lines. Look for the message. Look at how they're saying what they're saying. Are they smiling? Are they numb? Are they fidgeting? Have they gone more quiet? It's something that you just notice how people react to their emotions, because an emotion will have a behavior that follows an action. And remember, when you want to increase your emotional intelligence, it's very important to practice compassion and patience. And patience is such a difficult topic for us, because with life that's so hectic and chaotic and busy and erratic, it's really difficult for us to be patient, especially when we're in traffic and we're in a rush and it's just one of those days and we're late, and then you lose your compassion. You lose the ability to understand that someone else is feeling an emotion that might clash with yours, because they might be in less of a rush and you might be in more of a rush. But whose is more important? You understand? So it all has to do with adapting to different people and how they feel and how they think. Don't make assumptions ever, because that's a good way to hurt someone and to stop yourself from developing emotional intelligence. Don't mind read, because we are not mind readers. It's something that is developed through compassion, patience, empathy, self-management, and self-awareness. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that stunning person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worthy.